This time we're going to try the autofocus because I can't get manual focus to work to focus on my face. So, for those of you that don't know me yet, my name is Aiko and I am a Dutch illustrator, character designer and visual development artist. Last summer I graduated from HKU 2D animation and I am now capturing my journey to become a successful illustrator. I say successful, but everyone's definition of success is different, of course. For me, it is to have a stable income that can support my lifestyle, and I would really like to be able to do many different kinds of creative projects. I think it might be interesting to capture my creative journey on here on YouTube, and that you can watch along and perhaps even learn along with me. And I think also that I would really like to look back on where it all started in the future. I divided this video in 3 main topics: how I got to where I am right now, where I currently am, and what my plans are for the future. So without further ado, let's get started. How I got to where I am. I would say that my creative career started when I started studying graphic design. As a student, I got my first little freelance job from a family friend, and after I graduated I registered with the government, or in the Netherlands it's called KVK, as a one-person business. Looking back, I might have done this a bit too early, but if I wanted to work with more clients, being registered as a one-person business was just very easy for everyone involved at the time, taxes wise and stuff. While I graduated as a graphic design student, I still wanted to continue with my studies. So I decided to start studying 2D animation at HKU, while also still being a one-person business. While being a graphic design student, I got really into illustrating and really saw that as my special skill almost. But I didn't find that it went deep enough in my special interest in drawing characters and environments and stuff. And animation was the perfect solution for that. But when I got accepted into the animation program, I pretty quickly found out that animation just isn't my thing. I still love the industry, the actual animating itself, I hated it. It wasn't my thing. Just the traditional 2D way of animating. My wrist just couldn't handle it. I really pushed myself in trying to get it to work, but it just wasn't my thing. So I very quickly actually adjusted my goals and to focus more on the pre-production side within animation. So more the visual development, the character design. I was also looking if storyboarding might have been a thing for me. And while I was trying to figure all that out, a friend from, I think you say kindergarten. I grew up with this friend, she's called Joni. She reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in making a children's book with her. At the time, I was able to do this. I was also really excited to want to do this. It was another way to kind of explore what kind of art I would be interested in making in the future. I was able to combine this project, this children's book, with school as well. So it didn't feel like I was doing free labor at the time. It also seemed like a lot of fun. Children's books are almost the whole package of art for me. You get to design the characters, the backgrounds, you get to put a lot of effort within these illustrations, a lot of detail. For animation, I really had to push myself to make more minimalistic design. The more detail you put into a character that has to be animated, the more you're making things really difficult for yourself. And with a children's book, that's not necessarily the case. I could put as much detail in as I wanted, essentially. So I thought, that sounds fun, why not? We basically decided to make a sort of pitch together. Joni wrote a manuscript, while I made a storyboard and one finished illustration, basically to get the idea of the children's book across. And then after we finished it, I basically got my points that I needed from school. Basically, after we just finished, we thought, why not just send it to a publisher? Why not try? Like, we have nothing to lose. At the time, she already had some connections with some publishers, and we just were like, whatever. We'll see if it goes somewhere, but it wouldn't feel bad if that wasn't the case. After that, I just continued with my studies. I had a lot of catching up to do with schoolwork, and I kind of forgot about it for a while. And then I think almost half a year later, maybe even a year later, we heard back from one of the publishers, and they were really excited about what we made, and they actually wanted to publish this children's book with us. That was so exciting. We didn't expect anything to come from it, and to then suddenly get a publisher that was so interested in it, it was amazing. Luckily, I was also able to combine this project. Basically, the pitch was one project, and now making the actual children's book I see as another project. I was also able to combine this part with school. I was basically able to make it a sort of internship without actually being an intern somewhere. Instead of working for a company, probably unpaid, to get experience, I already got a full freelance job essentially. So I pitched that to school, and they were like, sure, do that. And they were really supportive about it, even though it's not necessarily an animation project. So I'm really thankful that I was able to do that at the time. It took me about half a year, I think, to finish it. Yeah. After we finished making this book, our publisher got back to us with an amazing proposal to make a sequel for it, which, yes, of course, we would love to do that. And once again, I was also able to combine this with school. This time as one of my graduation projects. I did multiple small graduation projects. Usually at HKU, students graduate with a film that they make. I already knew I wasn't going to do that. I didn't like animating. So I wanted to make a visual development portfolio. The other project was the children's book, and I also did a short animation for a TV program in the Netherlands at the time. That I also mainly did to just show the teachers hey, I'm still trying to make this animation stuff work. You know, when you're in school, you just have to satisfy the teachers sometimes to just get grades, honestly. So after I graduated, I actually didn't want to pick up a pen for several months. I felt really creatively drained. I spent the majority of my life being in school, being told what to do, how well I was doing, when I had to do certain stuff, and now suddenly that was just gone. I had to figure everything out by myself. And while also being very freeing, it was also a little bit intimidating. To get back on track, I just gave myself a short break. I didn't want to force myself to pick up a pen and be this creative artist. I just graduated and immediately knew what she was doing. I still had a freelance project I was working at the time, so I couldn't 100% just leave drawing on the side, but yeah, it felt manageable at the time. I decided to pick up a part-time job working at a bakery. That was really fun for a while. I felt safe enough to just try to figure things out while also still making something of an income. But rather quickly, I actually noticed myself really missing the creativity. I just wanted to create again. I think in March I decided to quit my part-time job at the bakery. I really wanted to go full-time with this art thing. I am still able to live at home with my parents, so I don't have that much financial responsibilities yet. And I felt like if I make the leap now and try to build something up right now, instead of when I have a place of my own and have to pay rent every month, that would be a lot more intimidating and scary to then take this leap. So I wanted to try it right now. It's not a full-time income that I am earning and was earning at the time. I did have an outlook of some projects that I could be working on in the future, but also that wasn't full-time income. My parents were also really supportive of this decision, so that also really encouraged me to take this leap. Now we have arrived at where I currently am. It's been a little bit more than a month, maybe even nearing 2 months since I've gone full-time. I just finished illustrating a children's book that will be releasing this fall. At the moment I have 2 more children's books that I can work on. These have to be done by the end of the year. And there is one children's book pitch that I'm also working on with Joni. I don't have any future freelance jobs lining up at the moment. And I am also working on opening my own shop right now, just creating some products and working out a website. I'm also thinking about just posting on different kinds of social medias that I'm open to working some freelance jobs. Hopefully something will come of that. I am at least not stressed about not necessarily having anything freelance lined up right now. And like I just said, I'm also in the process of trying to open up my online shop again. Actually, back in 2020, I also opened an online shop for a while. I did this on Etsy, and I just used my own printer with some sticker paper and art paper to sell some prints and stickers, and also made some clay pins. It actually did quite well at the time, so I'm really excited to try it again. At the time I closed it simply because school was getting really hectic and I wanted to focus on that. But now that I have more time and I want to build up several different streams of income, I really want to try to open up my shop again, make new products, make stuff I'm really excited about and that I would actually really like to have. It's been quite a bit of work though. I thought, since I already have more art since I opened up my shop back in 2020, that I would very quickly be able to open it up, but no, it's quite a bit of work. I would like to open up my shop with preferably at least 10 different kinds of products. In 2020 I had my shop on the Etsy platform. It worked really well for me at the time, but I don't know if it will really work that well for me currently. I've seen that the fees of Etsy have gone up a lot. It's a sort of marketplace where you can just search for products. It's really appealing to me, but I don't know how well that works still because of the AI part and the dropshipping stuff. So I'll just see. Maybe I'll put some products up on there. We'll see. I'm currently just looking into trying to open my own Shopify. I would have more control, I think, about what I want to do, how much I want to sell. I would also like to sell in the future on market stalls, and I've heard that you can link your Shopify with your phone and your inventory and stuff, so that also sounds like a plus. The only downside is that I think it's really difficult with taxes, and that's kind of stressing me out. So I'm still really looking into what works for me and what doesn't, and I've kind of been procrastinating trying to set the Shopify thing up, so I'm gonna do that soon. I'm holding myself accountable. Also, another thing that has changed since opening up my shop back in 2020 is that I don't want to print a lot of stuff at home anymore. Printers and me are not a match made in heaven. I hate printers. They always stop working when they should be working. The ink is pretty expensive, the paper is pretty expensive. Just trying to get everything to work and it messing up constantly was so frustrating. So I decided, just for peace of mind, to get my stuff printed at printing companies. So basically the steps that I have to do to open my shop is make more art, so I have stuff to sell. I have got some ideas for it already, so now I just have to actually make it. And figure out the platform which I want to sell my stuff on. Another thing I'm currently doing, as you can see right now, is invest some time into making YouTube videos. In my free time, I watch YouTube a lot. I put YouTube up on the background while I'm drawing. So I kind of want to make my own kind of videos. I think that will be a lot of fun. I want this channel to be a mix of entertainment, just showing the behind the scenes of what I'm making, and also some educational content. Maybe that I'll teach you guys how I did certain things, how I got certain skills. You guys will have to help me with that though, because I don't know what you want to learn. Let me know. I'm also not planning on becoming a full-time YouTuber. I see this as more of a like promotion of the art that I'm making. But first and foremost, I am an artist and I want to keep it that way. I want to be able to focus on my art, and I would like YouTube to help me with that I feel productive while drawing my silly little drawings and just filming it, so it feels like I'm doing two things at once that will further my illustration career. Now my plans for the future. My business plan is basically to build up different kinds of income streams. Not in a grind set culture way, I'm not about that. I'm more doing this so I don't put all my eggs in one basket. If one of the income streams is a bit more slow, that I don't have like no income for a while. So I've already got my children's books going. With the way they're going now, I think it can be a really reliable income source for me. I also think it's building up some momentum for the future, so yeah, I'm confident that that will work out for me. So I've got that. I'm working towards opening my shop. I think that also could be a nice source of income. I'm not expecting too much from it. It's probably really slow at the start. It might never take off that much actually, but we'll see. I'm starting out with the digital platform. I think that will be the easiest. If that doesn't immediately work out, that's fine. I'll just try some markets, see if that works. But at least that I'm basically selling some products and art prints that I make myself. So then I have two options going. And of course, just the freelance stuff. I really like to get into the animation industry or gaming industry. That would like be a dream for me, to work like on big productions or projects. Smaller freelance work is of course fine as well. They're also can be really fun to work on. I've also got some other ideas for future incomes, like art licensing or giving workshops. Those can be really fun as well. I've already given a workshop once. Loved doing it, genuinely loved doing it. It was quite a bit of preparation work on my end though, and maybe in the future I'll try to focus more on that, but for now I think focusing on these three main things.
Okay, wait. Editing Aiko here. It's been about a month since I've filmed this, and I wanted to give a little bit more information about my plans for the future. The main thing on my mind these past few months have been my shop. I've been making the most active steps towards making this particular goal a reality, and it's what I've been doing the most research on. I've been researching ways to market myself, what products I want to make, how to price my stuff, what platforms I want to use, etc, etc. And while I was researching admin stuff for my shop, I very quickly realized that the taxes involved in selling products worldwide would be really difficult for me to properly figure out and keep track of. So I went looking for a bookkeeper for some help. I've since then talked to one, and we talked about my goals and discussed what I still need to do in order to make my goal of being a full-time artist thing work for the long run. While I had a plan for the bigger picture very clear in my mind, I hadn't thought that much about the details yet. Like, how much am I willing to invest in my shop? What's my average income each month? And what will my fixed expenses become once I open this shop? It will take some time to see a return on investment before I will start making any profits through my shop. So how else will I be making money during this time? How can I get my freelancing or children's books to grow? Etc, etc. I feel kind of stupid for not having thought about these things that much at all. All I had on my mind was, I want to make art. But I'm very glad that these things are on my mind right now. I'm currently in the process of writing a proper business plan and calculating expenses and investments to make sure that this shop isn't going to become an endless money pit. That's kind of all I wanted to add. Now, back to the video.
Long story short, I'm still very much at the beginning of my art career. Things are moving along. They're moving along slowly, but at least they're moving. My income is not full-time yet. My main source of income right now is children's book royalties. These are, at least for me, they're paid out once a year. So once a year I get like a big sum of money. That at the moment also isn't that large yet, but hopefully that'll accumulate over time. So I get, once a year I get a chunk of money that I'll basically have to spread over the rest of the year. Sometimes it feels like I made a not so smart choice already going full-time. Basically, if I look at my income, it can feel really dreadful just not having anything come in, or knowing that if I don't work my ass off, promote myself a lot, that just nothing will be coming in the near future. Also, just watching the news and seeing all the stuff about AI and how everything is getting more expensive, it really feels like now is not the time to go full-time, but I feel like if I think about it a bit longer, never is the time. Always there will be something that makes things more challenging, so I just want to focus on the positive and just start now and not regret not doing it, if you know what I mean. I just want to get things moving and not for potential pitfalls that might not actually affect me that much to stop me from even trying. All I know is that I need to do something creative, and I know that is not the most easy career path, but it's something I am willing to do, and I don't care that it might not be easy. I'm willing to work hard for it. I'm very passionate about it, and yeah, I'm just excited for the journey up ahead. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to talk about for today. Hopefully I can very soon give you an exciting update on either my shop launch or other projects that will be coming my way. Next video will probably have something to do with my shop. I don't know when my shop will be launching yet. I will keep you guys up to date on that one. But once again, just stay tuned if you're interested in my journey and what I'm gonna make for the future. If you have any questions about either the work I did or future plans or anything actually, you can comment them down below. I'd be happy to answer your questions. Also, if you have some ideas of what you'd like to see, I'm open to video suggestions even. Yeah, let's help each other out. That will be all. Thank you so much for watching and sitting through me just rambling on for a while. It really means a lot to me that you're watching. If you'd like to support me in the future, or if you'd like to support me even more than you've already done by watching this video, you can check out my social medias. Maybe even follow me on there if you're really interested. Those things will be linked in the description down below. And other than that, I hope to maybe see you in the next video. Don't know when that will be coming. Hopefully soon. Okay, anyway, bye.